Most people completely misunderstand what it really takes to start a business in Ethiopia. And the truth is, one wrong assumption at the beginning can quietly block your entire plan before it even gets off the ground. If you're planning to register an LLC in Ethiopia, there's something extremely important you need to know first. Ethiopia has opened its doors to business and investment in recent years, but the system is still structured in a way that requires patience, local understanding, and very careful execution. And that one reality changes everything. Let me explain. Imagine Michael. He's an entrepreneur searching for emerging markets with long-term growth potential. He's already explored saturated regions, and now he wants something different, something earlier, less competitive, and full of opportunity. That's when he discovers Ethiopia. A country with over 100 million people, rapid economic development, and growing interest from international investors. It looks like the perfect opportunity. So naturally, he searches for Ethiopia LLC registration. At first glance it seems possible. He finds references to private limited companies, foreign investment opportunities, and government reforms. But here's where things get interesting. Ethiopia doesn't use the term LLC the way many Western countries do. Instead, the closest equivalent is a private limited company, often structured under Ethiopian commercial law. And while the idea of limited liability exists, the process is much more controlled, especially for foreign investors. And this is where most people make their first big mistake. They assume they can simply register a company and start operating. But this is where things can go very wrong. Let's bring in Sarah. Sarah is a consultant who wants to open a service-based business in Ethiopia. She believes she can set up quickly and start working with international clients. But here's the problem. Ethiopia has a list of sectors that are open, restricted, or closed to foreign investors. And Sarah didn't check this before starting. And what happens next changes everything. Her business activity fell into a restricted category, and her application couldn't move forward. She lost time, money, and momentum. But here's the insight most people miss. In Ethiopia, your business idea determines whether you can even enter the market. Now let's go back to Michael. After learning from Sarah's mistake, he decides to take a more strategic approach. He starts by researching Ethiopia's investment regulations. And this is where clarity begins. Foreign investors can establish businesses in Ethiopia, but only in sectors approved by the Ethiopian Investment Commission. And this is where things start to make sense. Michael carefully defines his business as a technology services company, an area that is increasingly open to foreign participation. And this leads to the next step. Investment approval. Before you can register your company, you need to obtain an investment permit. And this is where things become more structured. You must submit a business plan that explains your activity, investment amount, and expected impact. David thought this step was optional. But here's where it gets dangerous. Without an investment permit, you cannot legally proceed with company registration as a foreigner. So this step is not just important, it's essential. Now Michael prepares a detailed business plan. And this is where preparation makes a huge difference. Because a strong, realistic proposal increases your chances of approval. Now let's move forward. Once your investment permit is approved, the next step is company name reservation. This might sound simple, but here's where many people make a mistake. Your chosen name must be unique and approved by the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Jessica submitted a name that was already taken. And this is where things can go very wrong. Her application was rejected, causing delays. So always prepare multiple name options. Now once your name is approved, the next step is drafting your memorandum and articles of association. These documents define your company's structure, ownership, and operations. Emily tried to use a generic template. But here's where things can go wrong. Her documents didn't comply with Ethiopian legal requirements. And her application was delayed. So again, working with a local legal expert can save you time and frustration. Now here's where the process becomes more detailed. You need to deposit your initial capital. And this is where many people get surprised. Ethiopia has minimum capital requirements for foreign investors, often starting around $200,000 for a wholly foreign-owned company, although this can vary. And this small detail makes a huge difference. Because if you're planning to start small, you may need to reconsider your strategy. Daniel didn't prepare his capital properly. And what happens next changes everything. His application couldn't move forward until he met the requirement. The financial planning is critical. Now, once your capital is deposited and your documents are ready, you can proceed with company registration. This involves submitting your documents to the appropriate authorities and obtaining a certificate of incorporation. And this is a big moment. Your company officially exists. But here's the problem. Many people think this is the final step. In reality, it's just the beginning. Because now you need to handle post-registration requirements. One of the most important is obtaining a business license. And this is where things can get complicated. Sarah assumed her registration was enough. But when she tried to operate, she realized she needed a license. And this delay cost her time and opportunities. So always ensure you obtain the correct license for your business activity. Now let's talk about taxation. After registration, you must obtain a tax identification number and register for taxes. And this is where things can go wrong if you're not careful. David didn't complete his tax registration properly. And what happens next changes everything. He faced penalties that could have been avoided. So always handle tax compliance early. Now let's move to another critical step. Opening a corporate bank account. This is necessary for managing your business finances. But here's where things can slow down. Banks in Ethiopia require detailed documentation and may have strict procedures. Michael prepared everything in advance. And this allowed him to complete the process smoothly. But here's where things get interesting. If your documents are incomplete, delays are almost guaranteed. So preparation is key. Now let's talk about employment. If you plan to hire staff, there are regulations you must follow. And this is where many beginners get caught off guard. Because hiring foreign employees may require special permits. Jessica initially planned to bring in a full foreign team. But she quickly realized that local employment policies required a different approach. So, understanding labor laws is essential. Now, let's pause for a moment. At this point, you might feel like the process is complex and demanding. And that's true. But here's the insight that changes everything. Ethiopia is not a shortcut market. It's a long-term opportunity. And long-term opportunities reward preparation, patience, and strategy. Now let's return to Michael. After carefully navigating investment approval, registration, licensing, and compliance, his company is fully operational. And here's the mini payoff. He now has a presence in one of Africa's fastest-growing economies. But, more importantly, he understands the system. And that gives him an advantage. Because while others struggle with confusion and delays, he moves forward with clarity. Now let's talk about timelines. How long does it take to register an LLC-style company in Ethiopia? If everything is prepared properly, it can take several weeks to a few months. But if you encounter issues, it can take much longer. And this is where preparation becomes your biggest asset. Now let's bring everything together. Registering an LLC-style company in Ethiopia means setting up a private limited company through the investment framework. It involves selecting an approved business activity, obtaining an investment permit, reserving a company name, preparing legal documents, depositing capital, registering the company, obtaining a business license, completing tax registration, and opening a bank account. Each step matters. Each decision impacts your success. But if you approach it strategically, something powerful happens. Because you're not just entering a market. You're positioning yourself in a high-growth environment with long-term potential. And that's the real opportunity. Most people avoid markets like Ethiopia because they seem complex. But those who understand the system, those who prepare properly, those who take the time to do it right, they gain access to opportunities others never reach. And that's what separates casual entrepreneurs from strategic ones. So, if you're serious about exploring emerging markets, Ethiopia can offer real potential, as long as you respect the process and plan carefully. If you found this guide helpful and want more videos that break down complex global opportunities like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand these systems, the more control you gain over your future. And that's where real freedom begins.